big, swoopy, curvaceous pattern when open. I can't see the future, unfortunately. Man, if only. Forget all that. We're waffling and rambling here. I know. I regret it immediately. Hey everyone, David C. Anderson here, coming at you from the Knife Center, and we have got a bunch of cool new knives that have just hit our shelves. So much so that this is the second episode in the same week, showing it to you. We did. If you are curious about even more new knives after this video is over, make sure to check out the one we posted 2 days ago. A ton of stuff this week. And we're going to start off with this knife. I'm going to make Thomas's life very easy by keeping the knife still. Oh, there we go. The Benchmade Bugout. KnifeCenter exclusive in MagnaCut steel. We have had a couple versions of this already, 3 in fact. Some of those are still available, but if you've been waiting for the all blacked out version, wait no longer.
Even if you didn't know it was coming.
MagnaCut steel, as mentioned, standard grivery handles, same price as the S30V base model, and yet you get MagnaCut, which offers edge retention, which should be, I don't know if I would say like comparable to the S30V, but, sits in a similar ballpark, I would say. It is even more stainless, and it is way tougher than the S30V. Regarding that edge retention thing, side of the equation, MagnaCut is very good. S30V is pretty good too. But where MagnaCut really shines is it has that stainless high edge retention and super high toughness. There you go. And that pays dividends even on ultralight folders like this, because the edge itself, you can sometimes take it down even thinner than you might expect because the steel is tough enough that it's going to resist deformation a little better. That's a pretty cool thing, especially on a thin blade like on the Bugout. 3 1/4 inch blade, very thin and slicey, drop point shape, so it works for just about any kind of daily light to medium duty stuff you can imagine, because the Bugout is not a heavy duty knife after all. Grivery handles, reversible deep carry pocket clip, and of course the axis lock, the original crossbar lock, giving you ambidextrous access, finger safe closing action, and an oh so fidgety characteristic to it as well. Check it out while supplies last. $200, same price as the standard S30V, now with MagnaCut. There we go. If you like your lightweight knives to have a bit more reach, let's go with the Paramilitary 2 lightweight, now in all black, has hit the shelves. 166.5 for this with a 3 1/2 inch blade. Made in USA, just like the Benchmade. Interestingly though, as I throw them up, the actual sharpened length between the two is a lot closer than the overall blade length would suggest. You have just a tiny bit more with the PM2 in this case. What you don't have is the MagnaCut steel here. You've got a BD1N in this case, which is not a powder metal like the MagnaCut is. It's respectable stuff, but don't expect the same levels of performance as the MagnaCut, of course. The lightweight handles have Spyderco's famous bidirectional texturing, so you get grip in every direction. You've got a reversible wire deep carry clip and the compression lock. Another lock giving you, I almost said ambidextrous action. Not as much ambidextrous, but you do have the finger safe closing action. I know some lefties have no problem using the compression lock, but I've always found it a bit clumsy myself. But then again, I am not a lefty, so take that under advisement. You've got plenty of handle length on the PM2 lightweight here. Even without using Spyderco's signature guarded finger choil right there, I can fit all 4 of my standard size, well, slightly larger than average size fingers on there, or choke up for more utility. You've got a little more thickness at the spine, but again, very thin out near the tip. So like the Bugout, this has a very slicey geometry, great for all sorts of things. If you don't like the all black, check out the other versions. If you like the more robust handles, check out the other versions. If you don't like this, check out the other versions. There you go. How many Paramilitary 2s are in stock on the website right now? How many options are there? Well, there's 17 active, and we have 12 of them in stock right now. Check out the other options.
You're telling me there's other options?
There's other options. You can find them at the links below or at the QR codes in the corner. We'll link to the series on that, I suppose, right?
That's what I usually do.
Yeah, cool.
Not that you pay attention.
Do something worth paying attention to, and maybe I'll pay attention.
Very bold thing to say to your editor.
I know. I regret it immediately. I'm very busy over there. You know, maybe that's why I didn't have a chance to watch it.
Excuses.
Anyway, next up, new Demkos. These are the AD20Is. AD20i Slim in this case. The I designates the blade in this case is made in Italy and then shipped to Pennsylvania, where the Demkos put it all together here in the States. $450 for this. You've got a Nitro X7 blade, 3.5 inches long, and being the Slim, it is slimmer in the blade stock thickness than the standard AD20, which honestly, I know a lot of folks love like the overbuilt versions. I prefer the Slims. They just cut better for most daily uses. And quite honestly, it's still thick enough to be robust, in my opinion. And the Nitro X7, of course, is a very tough and robust steel as well. This version comes with the Jade G10, textured natural G10, you could also call it. We've also, at the point we're filming this, we've got a few titanium models in stock, but those were moving quickly, so I didn't want to grab one of those and show it to you and have it be out of stock on the day this video posts, but there's a chance it could still be in stock. Anyway, link or QR code in the corner to find out. I can't see the future, unfortunately. Man, if only. Wouldn't be working here, that's for sure.
We're going to Vegas. For SHOT Show.
Well, I mean, it's going to be a while. We're going to Atlanta first for Blade Show.
By way of Vegas.
That's like the best reason to work here. I get to go to all the shows. It's pretty great. And I get to play with knives all day, and I get to share my playings with knives with you folks as well. So that's pretty cool too. Forget all that. We're waffling and rambling here. What makes the AD20 so awesome? It is, at the end of the day, despite all those other cool things, it's the shark lock right here. Finger safe, ambidextrous, fun, fidgety to play with, incredibly strong as well. Andrew Demko is kind of renowned for creating so many robust locking mechanisms over the years, and this is just like the latest and greatest that he has come up with, and it is so much fun. Feels great, and it's a great knife to boot. So check them out. Hopefully there are still some in stock at the moment. Next up, we have two Bradford fixed blades using MagnaCut steel, specifically designated MagnaCut HH in this case, because they make it a point to make sure they run it at a high hardness. You sacrifice a little bit of toughness the harder you go with any steel, but they've been shown to get some really great performance out of their heat treat here. The Guardian 5.5 is a 5.05 inch blade. Sorry, brain fart there. Yeah, it's just a hair over a 5-inch blade. It's not a 5.5-inch blade. $260. We've got a black stonewashed finish here. Contoured G10 handles that feel great. The 5.5 is just a phenomenal all-around belt knife. It's large enough and small enough at the same time to be a perfect survival knife. Some folks may like a smaller blade as a survival knife. That's cool. Some folks may like a bigger knife as a survival knife. And the only thing I would say to those folks is whatever your knife you pick that may serve as a survival knife, make sure it's something that's small enough that you're always going to want to carry it. You don't want it to be so big that you're going to leave it behind because it's just too much to throw on your belt. 5-inch blade, it's a really good cross section. You've got extra length to do more batoning, but it's still light enough and nimble enough to always be on you. And the shape and size and geometry here means you can do pretty much any outdoor task with it and not be left wanting. Really cool knife. Sheath is leather. High quality, simple loop over type of thing. It's great. Check it out. If you'd rather have your MagnaCut HH and more of an everyday carry utility knife style, check out the Guardian 3. It is the Guardian 3. This is a 3.5-inch blade with the guarded finger choil. Some versions of this have an unguarded choil. I prefer the guarded finger choil very much. And then you got a sharpening choil right in front of it there. $198 for this particular knife with a 3.5-inch sheepsfoot or modified sheepsfoot blade with a stonewashed finish. And again, a very short in this case, but still very comfortable handle. 3.5 finger grip for me, but if I need to choke up a little bit, I can do the Gorilla Grip thing. It's a little less comfortable for my hands. Your mileage may vary, of course, but what a great, robust daily carry as well. And it is designed for across the body carry, essentially, right-handed, across, cross draw. That's the word. So yeah, if you want to pocket carry this or, scout carry it, you could scout carry it if you were left-handed because it would sit at the right place there. But the sheath options are a little more limited in that regard. So if you want to, like I said, pocket carry it or carry it any other way, you might need to have some Kydex made for yourself. But some more cool US made knives right here. Speaking of utility knives, we've also got a batch of some of the coolest utility knives on the planet. I think if I were to put like the top tier rankings of the coolest utility knives on the market, this would be one of two: the Reate EXO-U, that's EXO-U, and the Reaver Zero. Both of them so freaking cool. And similarly priced as well, actually. This is a more premium option. This is not, like the $15 Milwaukee you're going to get from the hardware store. This has got aluminum handles, and it is that. If you know, I mean, so fun. So addicting to use as well. Just the clicky clack, the satisfaction of the motion is just, it's hard to describe. It's really, really cool. $82 for this, and I think all the other versions that we just got in are sitting at the same price. This one has red accents. You do have a lock on the handle there. So in a way, this is a very secure knife when you're actually using it, because it's almost impossible for it to fold closed on you. If it comes up loose, in fact, it will come back. If your finger is, sorry. Oh, that's why I bumped the lock. I made it look like it wasn't good anymore, but it's good, trust me. Yeah, I forgot what I was saying there. It's such a cool thing. The only downside to this, which is a downside the Reaver kind of shares, is blade changes aren't the best. It's a little more finicky on the Reaver for sure. But with this one here, you've got, see, that happens. You've got this spring-loaded guy that goes right there to hold the blade in place. And exactly what just happened sort of illustrates my one qualm with it is they can kind of go rogue on you when you're changing the blade. Because it's a separate piece that is not captive, you might lose it.
Don't do that.
So don't do that. Now, is that enough for me to say you shouldn't buy it? Well, I can tell you where I've put my money. I own one of these, and I own a Reaver Zero, because they're just so freaking cool. Like, I will put up with the sort of downsides of it. So yeah, I mean, I put my money where my mouth is on these. They're awesome. Deep carry pocket clip. Check it out while supplies last. Because these do come in batches, and the next ones we get are a little bit different typically. So if you see a version you like right now at the selection that we've linked to, you've been warned. Next up, we've got some Remettes. This is the RT-Bee, B-E-E. A handful of different colors. This is the red, they call it G10, and I suppose it is, but it's got a really interesting weave going on, giving you a more interesting texture to look at, which is cool. A bit of contour to the handle brings that out and helps it feel good in the hand as well. 2.8-inch blade, 14C, 28N. Really good price, especially when you factor in the bonus feature, which I'll get to in a moment. This is a $55 knife. Deep carry pocket clip, right side only. In this case, you've got a liner lock, and you got a flipper tab or a ball or the thing, thumb studs to open the knife, and ball bearing and ball bearings in the pivot. So even with that, 2.8-inch, 14C steel, $55, all those other things, it's already good value. Throw in one extra thing. Substantial metal pick, toothpick, whatever pick, right there in the handle as well. That's pretty cool. Really substantial feeling. Definitely more premium than like the folded flat stainless steel toothpicks that come in some knives nowadays, and certainly way more premium than a Swiss Army knife plastic toothpick. So pretty cool knife.
Is it thin enough to eject a SIM card?
I was thinking that earlier, and I do believe it probably would be. It does, get a little thicker behind the tip. So without actually testing it, it would be tough to say for sure. but it would certainly work as a reset pusher for, you know, your router or whatever has those like recessed, you know, pinhole reset buttons. Yeah, there you go. I think most people use eSIMs nowadays anyway. If they're changing swims, like changing swims, most people don't swap SIMs out as frequently as they used to, perhaps. But I don't know. If you do swap swims normally, tell me below. Let's show another Remette, shall we? This is the RT Infinite. New versions of this have hit the site. $260 for this. And that's really cool. I love the flame titanium on this. It's real nice. 3.15 inch M390 blade. Dagger style, but single edged. And it is a liner lock. It is an inset liner lock, but it is also a button lock. So you can do that. Or a pivot-based button lock. It's a pebble lock that we like to call it here.
Those are pivot-based button locks.
Pivot-based button. That's what I said. Well, it is, but it's also a liner lock.
Bull.
It's a pebble liner lock. Yeah. You've got a flipper tab on the back. You could also use the front flipper tab. I choose not to. You could also wrist flick it open or closed, so you get that finger-safe closing action as well. You also get an secondary safety here on the back, which when you slide it forward prevents the liner lock from moving, which means you have to worry less about accidental disengagement. If you're really wrenching on the knife and using it hard, even if you press that button down while you're using it, it's not going to disengage the lock, unless that also fails, which is theoretically possible. Anything's possible. So there you go. Really cool design. I love the vibes of it. I love the handle finish as well. You've got some crystallized titanium surrounding the pivot on each side. You've got a milled pocket clip. You've got a hidden lanyard point. You've got something very, very distinctive. Next up, we have premium versions of the Rhino from Remette. Previously, this has been a pretty budget-oriented model. Some sub 50 and I think like right around $30, $35 options in the lineup. But they've gone now or added some high-end versions. $246 for crystallized titanium. 4 different colors can be had. This is the green one, of course. And if you're unfamiliar with crystallized titanium, it's not just a finish. This crystallized titanium has been finished green, but that actual crystallization runs all the way through the titanium. If you were to grind it down a little further, it would still be there. You're not going to just grind it off of the surface. Pretty cool stuff. Comes with an M390 blade, 3.07 inches long, with a really nice drop point profile, and a battle style lock, the button actuated top liner lock. What do they call it? What does Remette call it? I'm just calling it button lock. How boring. Oh, there it is. Button actuated top liner lock. There we go. There it is. Which operates on the same principles as Spyderco's compression lock, with a button to actuate it instead of relying on, you know, your finger to push it out of the way that way. So there you go. The action is very good, super snappy. You've got the thumb studs, you've got a front flipper, and you've got a fuller. You can do that reverse flick with that as well. Really fetching profile overall, I've always felt. 3.5 finger grip for me using the prescribed index finger position, but there's enough of a flat in front of that if you wanted a full gorilla grip, that is also easily accommodated. Next up, a knife with kind of similar proportions, similar utility here. From Vosteed, we have the Tough Knives designed Psyop 299. Considerably more affordable, however. This is a $142 version of the knife, and it is the first one I've seen with this really cool file or engraving, that's the word, on the titanium bolsters, front and back. Very, very cool. $142, 3-inch S35 VN blade with a stonewashed finish. Another really nice drop point blade. Slightly less character than that on the Rhino, but a very useful and still, I think, attractive shape as well. Continuous curve on the belly, that's quite nice. Button actuated top liner lock as well. Wire deep carry pocket clip, which is reversible, making this a good righty or lefty option. There we go. And it also has swappable handle scales here. And we have also added new selections to our swappable handle scale options on the website. Here are just 2 of them. Let's see, this And it comes with two, one for each side, but you've got, this is the Ivory Drift Bamboo Micarta. A set of this is like 30 bucks. Blue carbon fiber in this case. This is a $59 set here. So prices vary depending on which you choose. Let me see how many we've got in stock at the moment. Let me do the filters here. 4 options. Carbon fiber and another different type of blue for the carbon fiber as well as this one here. So yeah, check them out. It's a really, really cool knife. Similar to the Rhino, it's kind of a 3.5 finger grip using the standard position here, but does a full gorilla grip super nicely. Unlike the Rhino, the blade length here is just under 3 inches as opposed to just over. So if you happen to live in a place where 3 inches is some sort of legal limit, this would definitely be a better option for you there. Next up, a new brand. I've got 5 knives here from FerraMonster, new here to the KnifeCenter, and the quality is really impressive. This is the UrbanGrip V2. Comes in at $267 for this version. I think it starts around the $250 mark. Yeah, $256 is the entry-level price for this. Different inlays are basically the difference there. We've got a 3.63-inch M390 blade with a hand-rubbed finish. Just check out that horizontal grain right there. Super, super nice. Titanium handles, super well-fitting inlays, almost full coverage on the front, and a little bit slimmer on the back to make room, of course, for the frame lock right there. Lockup, superb. No wiggle whatsoever. Let me do up and down. Yeah, no wiggle in any direction that I can discern. Comes with a front flipper or thumb studs. I choose the thumb studs. Super snap, really, really nice. If you like a gentleman's knife to be on the larger side, you could do a lot worse than this. This has really, really excellent vibes and seems like it has the pedigree to work really hard too. Quality on all of these is very, very good. Next up is the Spectrum, a crossbar lock folder. 3.3 inches on the blade. This one is $278 with marbled carbon fiber handles. Hand rub finish on the M390 there. Good action on the crossbar lock. Yeah, really good action there. Ball bearings in the pivot. Pretty snappy for a crossbar lock in the standard thumb flick there too. Milled pocket clip, so it's not quite deep carry, but it is reversible. So you've maintained, the ability of that crossbar lock to work well for righties or lefties. They're not all, $278, however. There's titanium options. There's also micarta options. The micarta started at about $114. Those are with 154 cm blades. The titanium is actually a little bit less expensive than the carbon fiber. It looks like that's the top end there. So you check out all the options at the link or the picture link up there. Next up, the Reaver. $279 for this one. You got an almost 4-inch blade of S90V, black DLC on this one, but a few flavors can be had. Titanium, subtle blue accent colors on the hardware pivot thumb stud. Why can't I remember the word thumb stud today? I don't know.
I told you, you're thumb tied.
Thumb tied today, that's true. Despite the whole, big, swoopy, curvaceous pattern when open, it nestles in pretty compact or comparatively compact when folded. So that would be the shape in your pocket. Not as, aggressive as you might think given that open profile. Really cool. Next up, another one of several handle color or handle flavors available. This is the Valken from FerraMonster. $254 for this one. 3.5-inch M390 blade with the clip point shape. Standard belt finish on the flats and satin belt finish on the grinds and satin on the flats. Handles are black stonewash titanium, toxic fat carbon inlays. This one has a little less yellow than some of the versions out there. The picture on the website has one with a bit more yellow. So this one almost looks like jungle wear, but you do have that yellow bringing it into toxic territory. Yeah, this is a classic, standard, which is to say very excellent premium frame lock flipper. In this case, titanium frame lock flipper. Feels great, looks great. You be the judge. Last but not least from FerraMonster, we have the least expensive option I'm showing you on the table, at least from them. This version of the Glideman. $119. 3-inch blade, 154 cm, modified. I'm going to go modified Wharncliffe. It says modified sheep's foot on the site, but that tip is a little too pointy for me to feel comfortable calling it a sheep's foot, so I'm not going to do it.
Something else you could call it.
That is, you're just trolling me now. This is not a reverse tonsil.
I was going to say drop point.
Now you are trolling. You know what this is? I see this as being an interesting alternative to some of the giant mouse patterns out there. It has similar vibes without being, definitely not identical, but it can kind of, seems like it's playing in a similar playground. So you might want to check those out if you're a giant mouse guy. Yeah, like I said, $119 for this one with a red canvas micarta handle, but there are more expensive versions of this with M390 steel and titanium, etc. That can be had. I think they go up to about just under $240, depending on which version you go with. Anyway, 3-inch blade, as mentioned, 3.5 finger grip here for me with my slightly larger than average hands on the handle itself, and it's thick enough to make it feel really secure. There is an unguarded finger choil up at the front. It's a little small for my particular finger size. Your mileage, of course, will vary, but it feels good. The tip points down naturally. You're going to be able to use that for scoring tasks really nicely. And if you need to push through a heavier cut, it's got the meat on the bones to really support that too. Next up, Defiant 7. We have got a fixed blade. This is the M320V in 3V steel. Has a bit of that, well, more than a bit. It is very clearly inspired by the MAC-V-SOG buoys from the Vietnam War. $385 for this. It is made in the USA. It is 3V steel, as mentioned. Did I mention the blade length? 6.25 inches long. This is a Matt Martin design, by the way. Handles are injection molded polymer in a classic, symmetrical, what's the word? Not wasp waisted style, but dagger style anyway. And it comes with their finger guard here, or the cross guard that we've seen on a couple other models that I'm a really big fan of. Why, you ask? Well, it's slim enough, or it's subtle enough that it doesn't get in the way when you want to do other kind of non-tactical stuff. Cross guards are great in their intended role, but there's a reason that if you're using like a standard K-bar as a woods knife, that kind of gets in the way a little bit. This doesn't get in the way in the same way. Slimmer at the front, so you still get that finger guard protection from moving forward onto the edge, and tilted forward on the back with a serrated thumb pad, or I think serrated is not the right word, but a scored thumb pad there. So you've got a really nice place to push off on, as opposed to being pushed back on the handle. That's nice. And if you want to choke up and get over it, as you can see, it's subtle enough to kind of just nestle right in there. Yeah, I can still feel it, but it's not going to prevent me from doing this kind of cut when I want to do it. I could even choke up if I wanted to, over it like so, and would be pretty decent. Just watch the edge there, of course. You do have a little bit of a ricasso there, but it's not overly broad. So you can do like that Bowie knife thing where you've got a way to retract it if it's stuck in a target, but it's less of a kind of like choke up spot, at least if your fingers are the size mine are. I like it, I must admit. Sheath is Kydex, comes with this very nice drop loop with 2 pull-the-dot snap equipped straps right here that are MOLLE compatible. So this is going to be a very secure thing, whether you've got it strapped onto MOLLE or just on your belt. Because if you're not familiar with the pull-the-dot strap, it doesn't come loose in just any direction. Only where that little dimple is, only if you pull it that way will it come undone. Would you like to carry it some other way? You got a lot of rivets here. The question is, will it fit a tech lock? Let's find out. Interesting. Yes, it will. You could fit a tech lock, you could fit a Civivi T-clip, you could fit an Ulti-clip on there. Options are optional. Next up from Defiant 7, we have the Alpha Auto, a Tom Crine design, which is pretty apparent from the shape if you're familiar with his work. We've had this before, but not in the Nichols Damascus. This is the boomerang pattern Damascus blade, which is really cool. $425. You got a sub 3-inch stout drop point blade, sort of bull-nosed in a way, or at least a broad tip, and it is an automatic, and the action is good. Very nice package overall. Despite the only 3-inch blade, this handle has a lot of meat on the bones. It's got substance. When you really need to push, this thing is not gonna like shrink away from duty. It's really got what it takes. Nice broad contact patch, very neutral shape with this sort of teardrop thing. So any hand size or shape should be able to get a pretty good purchase and a comfortable feel on the knife. Yeah, I like it. I like Tom Cryan stuff in general. He's not as prolific as some makers out there, but his stuff is just like oh so thoughtfully done. I dig it a lot. Last but not least, we have the Boker Plus 302 fixed blade. Comes in about 150 bucks, and it is kind of, well, it's everyday carry tactical, I'd say. 3.4-inch blade, Nitro V, clip point shape, cord wrapped handle. Actually, it's that fish skin wrapped with cord there, kind of a Japanese style, or imitating that Japanese style in any case. It's not, stingray skin or shark skin under there, but it's fishy. Comes with a Kydex sheath, which is right there, which comes equipped with a single loop. Could you do this loop around the top? Yeah, certainly you could. So you could carry it cross draw, you could carry it scout style, you could use it, they have it set up like so. So I suppose you could use that as a belt loop, but I would use it one of the other ways. Let's check the tech lock. Maybe we need a jingle for that or something.
Oh, man.
And one more thing for Thomas to do, he says. It looks like a standard tech lock is not quite going to do it, but Civivi's T-clip will do it because you do have a slot there, which should work. In the past, they have done, let's see if I can find it. Boker has often made sure their stuff fits a small tech lock, so we will check that real quick. And yeah, it looks like a small tech lock would fit the bill. Only problem with that now is small tech locks are discontinued. So, doesn't do much good. Unless you have one already, or you can find one on eBay or somewhere or something. So, anyway, that's the 302. That's all we got time for today, folks. Let me know what you thought of the knives down in the comments. And if you want to get your hands on one for yourself, links in the description. We'll take you to KnifeCenter.com. We're also going to leave a link in the description to our Whatnot profile, where we're doing some Friday afternoon hangouts. And tomorrow's show, all dollar starts. So if you want to come hang out on a Friday afternoon, come hang out with us on Whatnot, perhaps. Anyway, if you want to get your hands on the knives, like I said, KnifeCenter.com. While you're there, don't forget about our long-running Knife Rewards program. New payment options at checkout, including Sezzle, if you want to break things into smaller payments. I'm David C. Anderson from the Knife Center. Thomas behind the camera, and we are signing off. See you next time.